Pat from Creative Crafts here, and today's DIY is all about making a broomstick, a broom out of sticks for your decoration, for your doorway or for your home, whatever you want to use it for. And if you want to know how to do that, go to the next step. So everybody, the next step is what you need to do is get all the things that you're going to need for this project. And the things you're going to need are a tree trimmer. It's very old, I have to clean them. Or little pliers if you need, little wire cutters. You're going to need sticks, tons of sticks, lots of them, all different sizes. You don't want to put all one size. You can buy them in bunches, but my page is all about recycling. And if you, like me, I went outside and collected all the branches right after winter, because right after winter, that's when you notice all the branches are down. We have a gardener that comes to our area and does the garden for us, so I have to try to beat him. So he doesn't take all the branches and put them in the compost area. And so I decided, collect as many as I can. So when I have enough, I can make, well, believe me, our area is pretty big with lots of trees. I also have a huge pine cone tree, which one of my videos coming up is going to be working with making flowers out of pine cones. I don't know exactly when that's going to be, but it will come up. So let's go to further about what you're going to need. And you're going to need jute rope, like I have here. The jute rope, hot glue, like I said, sticks, a wooden dowel, as you see here. Or you can use an old broomstick or an old mop. Just take the mop end off and just use the stick. Like I said, my page is all about recycling, and it's very important that you recycle. I really feel very big on about that. And here in Germany, they really do recycle basically everything. So as you can see, it's not really tight yet because I'm just sticking the ropes in this area here. And So the reason why I already had started this, I was making a video with my camera, and again, my camera's been giving me trouble, and it didn't even videotape, even though it was. I thought it was. And I started by, I'm telling you exactly what I started with is, I started with some big branches in the middle, and I glued them and then tied it, and then put some more around, tied it, and that's, until I got about this bunch. And now that I got this all settled now, you just keep going all around, make sure it's always even. And now we will go further. The steps that I do is I always take a piece of rope, put it around, and then I take a stick. I had the sticks inside of a vase until I needed them. And then I take the stick and I measure it to make sure it goes to the size I want. And then I take my wire cutters, or not wire cutters, branch cutters, tree cutter, and cut it to the size I want. And then I usually get either a screwdriver, or you can use something, spoon, whatever you want to lift up so you can put it in tight. You don't want to have this rope too thin. So now I'm going to turn it around, and then I go do the next one. So you go like this. No, I don't cut you. You get back in there. Just make sure that your tree pieces are all even here too. If they're sticking out later, what I'm going to do is I'll probably end up cutting all the ends off. The next step you could do is also, so there you go. And then you just keep going around. You can see I did this one here, pull down. And here, this area doesn't have many, so I'm going to stick here and try to put some more on these sides. As you can see the dowel. And I used this once time before, and I took everything off for a decoration for hanging for Christmas, and now I want to reuse it for something else. So now I'm going to go further. And if you don't need to lift it up, don't, because you don't want to use too much sharp things onto the branches, because you don't want to scuff the branches up. So if you want, you can paint the stick first and then put your branches. I was thinking about keeping it natural, but then I changed my mind. So what I'm going to use now is I'm going to be using shoe polish to stain it. And if we go, what? We have non-toxic shoe polish, and I said, you know what? It doesn't stink, it dries fast. You just take the shoe, do the same thing as if you were using stain with the shoe polish. You put the shoe polish on, then you take a cloth or something, towel or napkin or kitchen roll, a piece of it, and wipe the excess off, and then let it dry. And if you want, then you can spray it with a varnish to make it a little bit shiny if you want, or you can leave it like this. Or after you stain it, you can paint designs on it if you want. It's all up to you. This is your artwork or your project. I'm just trying to show you what you could do, how you can make these things without, what do you call it, buying stuff. You know, these, I'm sure all this stuff I have here, I'm sure if you're a person who does DIYs or projects at home yourself, I'm positive that if you have a backyard, which everyone does, you will find so many branches. But I do want to say, please do not cut them off the trees unless you're doing some trimming on trees and you're going to cut them off anyway, okay. But please do not break the branches off the tree because you think you need it for this project. Find them on the ground. If you walk through a park, you go near trees, you will find branches on the floor. Little ones. If you see a huge one, find little ones off that huge one and cut them off. Because I really have a lot of respect for the trees, you know. These trees I got from my backyard, which we have lots of trees. I also have a pine cone tree, a huge one, which I collect pine cones from it every year. And one of my other videos, which I'll be making, is how to make flowers out of pine cones, which will be, I don't know when exactly, but that will be. And also how to work with salt dough and what you can make with it. So those are the few videos coming up. So now let's go further with my video here. And now I'm going with some small ones. You know, like I said, you need to cut them off. I have my door open out from outside. Neighbors are walking by. I'm really close to the street. And I have these ones, which I bought a long time ago, that have like pearls on the ends. I will put these on here too, but I will use these for my last choice, my last pieces. I have tons of them. I bought them a long time ago. And I have so many branches that look like this, you know, curled, which probably look good in the end too. So you got to make sure you be careful exactly which ones. You want to go with big ones, little ones. You want to mix and match because you don't want to have just all big ones. As you can see, I took a lot of little branches here. And that's what we want to do. So this is what we're going to do. Take some small branches now. Come on, get out. You know, if you find some like this, let's get this off, with tons of branches on them already, you can use this too. Just take it, find the area where you can put it. You want to lift up the rope. Gluing it one by one, I don't suggest because of the fact that it's going to take a lot of time. Oops. Get in there. Okay. It's going to take a lot of time to hold it. You're going to wait until it dries, then you can put the next one. Because if you want to keep putting glue and glue and glue, what's going to happen is you're going to have glue globs dripping down here. And you don't want to do that. I will add glue on each level that I do. Once I'm done with this level, I will add some glue to it, and then I will take my jute rope and I will wrap this whole thing around with the jute rope. You can get thicker one, jute rope if you want, or you can use a different kind of rope, or you can use ribbon if you want. It's up to you. I want to use jute rope, so this is what I'm using. So let me watch. Look for more of my other branches. Let me take these ones out first. Take those ones out that I want to use. The last option. I do have a suggestion. If you want to make these kind of branches out of trees yourself, you can. Oops. You can get some pearls with holes in it, get some branches that are thin enough, and then you can just glue them in the areas you want. I bought these. I didn't make them myself, but you can make these yourself. So let's go to the next step. So everybody, like I said, just keep going around and around until you get as many as you want. Like I have these really wiggly ones, which I'm not sure if I want to use them now or if I'm going to use it for something else. Just get this out of here. We have a tree that does this. It's like a vine, more like less than a tree. You know how this looks? I think it's cool. Might use that for a different project. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my branches here. Yeah, perfect. So the next step I do suggest is you take your jute rope now, and I would take some glue and put some there, and take your rope and go around. Pull it as tight as you can. I just want to make sure that I have the glue that I have on here well covered. So here's the last piece of glue that I can see sticking up. And I'm going to stick this on here, and I'm going to wait till this cools. Press down a little bit so you know that every area got some glue on it so it doesn't move. So once you put the glue on it, I'm going to put the jute rope probably around this thick on it, or maybe no, this thick. It's all up to you how thick you want to make it, because I want to make it as a decoration. And some of my branches still have some Christmas stuff on it. See, like you said, I recycle, and I recycle everything, even branches or whatever I have here. So I want to do this. So the next couple of ways, I'm going to start, you know, putting more branches all around it. Needs to be just a tad thicker. This is a little too thin, in my opinion. So I have a whole bunch of branches here still that I can use now that I got all these out. I have a few other ones here that are way too big in my opinion, so I can't use them. So now let's grab these ones. Trees, branches that have broken pieces, just take them off, because they're going to get broken on there anyway. So I think this area needs more. So here, there's like a nice little gap. So what I want to do is try to stick some branches in this area so that it's not so, you know, see like here, it doesn't matter how, if you want to take them off, but you don't want to have anything wobbling around. So this area, you can see inside this area, it's not that many branches in it, so it just got broken. It's too short now. Too short. I can use this one. It's like I'm moving the branch around to see if I can try to get it to screw in a little bit. It's not where the glue is, so it should be able to go through without a problem. Yep, there it is. At a certain point, the branches will start being harder to pull through. So what you want to do is force it a little bit. This one's way too big. I don't want to have it hanging there. I can cut that one off too. And if you want to add some decorations to it, you can do that also. It's also a good idea. So I may just end up gluing now some on here, step by step onto, because now that you have the jute rope there, you can do that. It's going to take me time, but you need to do that if you want to cover this whole thing correctly. So I think I'm going to be using soon the ones with the pearls. There we go, that one can go there. So to make it a little bit more tighter, I'm just going to take some jute rope and go around it because I do not want it to lift up. You can do this any way you want. I'm doing it this way because this is what I want to do. And that's it. So that should be fine. And now I can add some more here in between. Much better. So now it's time to add the ones with the pearls. So these should be really easy to slide through. All right, I'll slide it through this one. So I would suggest that you do the same method. Then I'm going to do all this, and then I will show you when I do the shoe polish. The next step is the shoe polish on the stick, and then after that is then decorating it how you want it to look. Another quick tip is if you want, you can get an elastic and put an elastic around the pole and then stick the branches in and then glue it. And then get another elastic. You can do it that way too, and without using the jute rope until the end, if you want to do it that way. So what I'm doing in between also is I am taking the glue gun and putting glue in between the branches areas, because I do not want the branches, you know, when I pick it up by the handle falling out this way, or if I decide to put it upright and have the handle as standing on the floor, the branches don't fall down on the other direction. So they don't move at all. I add some glue, wait till it cools, and then I can go further once I know that I have everything the way I want it. So like right now I am adding some more of these, what do you call it? branches here, and I am just sticking it while the glue is still hot because I want to make sure that I have enough there in the areas, and I just keep twisting it. And now I'll add some more. I have tons of these. So like I said, the glue takes a long time to cool because I got a new glue gun, and this glue gun seems to be very, very good. It gets really hot, so you have to be really careful. So that's just what I wanted to give you, that little suggestion. So the next step after you finish putting all the sticks that you need, like I said just before, add some glue on it, and then you wrap it with your ribbon or jute rope or the other kind of rope, whatever decorative thing you want to put around it, so that the sticks don't move in and out. You don't want that. So now that I'm done with this, I'm now debating what I should do. Should I paint the stick? Should I leave the stick this color? Should I maybe add some flowers to it? Should I leave it like this? I'm still debating, but the next step would be the coloring of the stick and decorating the broom. So it's pretty easy and self-explanatory. Take a bunch of sticks, branches, make them to all the same size, wrap them around a dowel or an old broomstick, and that's it. And yeah, let's go wait for the next step, and then we can see what we want to do with that. So the next step is, like I said before, is the coloring of the stick. Let me unplug my glue gun. I don't need that right at the moment. So what I suggest that you either get something that you know you can hold the broom up, you know, glass or something. I will use the stick to my the stick here for the tripod. I forgot. So I would take this shoe polish, and what I would do is, there's not much left in it, so I would just take it and squeeze. I'm using a black, but I doubt that it'll come out that dark. It may not, but you need to squeeze so that something comes out on it, and then wow, that must be a really old sponge. Scheiße. Sponge is falling apart. I don't think my husband used this thing for so long. So now that I got the shoe polish on there, I'm taking a normal kitchen towel and rubbing it in. And you twist it around to make sure that you get everywhere. And then you need to give it some time to dry, probably about an hour or two. And if you want after that, you can spray it with a varnish. And then I will start seeing what I want to put as decorations, which is the next step for the bottom part where the broom is. So everybody, this is the finished DIY. I think it looks great. I decided to put this little thing on here, and I glued it underneath so that it doesn't ever fall down. I didn't want to put too much decorations on it because I think it looks great just the way that it is. As you can see here up top, I put also jute rope right at the end of the broomstick. And that's the color. As you can see, it's like a really dark brown. It's not really black. I think it looks awesome. I mean, I can paint some put some acrylic paint on it, make some lines on it, whatever. But I wanted to have a nice, simple broomstick And that's what I did. You can use anything else you want. You can use ribbon. You can, like I said, it's unlimited what you could do when you want to make one of these brooms. Like I said, I will probably cut down some of the broom parts, the stick parts on the bottom here to make it a little more even so it stands exactly on its own without tipping or whatever. But I like the way it looks, and yeah. If you like my video, please give it the thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. I'd love to have you join my little family. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.